is up, everybody?
What's up, y'all? Howdy.
How y'all doing? Huh?
I'm tired.
You
Can't be
look tired.
tired.
Oh, man, I had a rough day at work.
Come on now, we got the nectar of the gods. You got to make that coffee.
True that.
I
Hi,
had 2 rough
Natalie.
days at work. We ain't even got a coffee pot where I work.
Oh, that's crime.
And if they did, the last 2 days, I wouldn't even had time to make pot. This is my 3rd can of soda since I left the house at 6:30 this morning.
Not having coffee is blasphemy.
I didn't even
True
have
that.
time to get a drink of water today. I was wringing
Oh,
my butt off.
my favorite lady from overseas, Miss Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
That's all right, Tim. Don't feel bad. Like we were just talking backstage, you got Jason down here drinking coffee with 20 layers of clothing on.
Yeah.
It's barely below 40 and he's freezing.
Man, I want my 100-degree weather. I'm sick of this cold.
I'm sitting here in pajama pants with my pants legs pulled up because I'm hot.
That's because you fat.
Yeah, that's it.
Listen. Moving up north has been a new experience. I've never had to shovel my driveway. I've never had to salt it. Now, some days I got to get up in the morning and go outside and clean my wife's windows off because they're full of snow.
Well, you wouldn't have that problem. You buy her a remote car start. I'm just saying.
That don't get the snow off the windshield.
The hell it don't. I go out there and start mine 3-4 times before I leave.
That's what I'm saying.
It's plenty warm in the truck and all the snow's melted off. And then
That's
you hit
right.
the windshield wipers and off it all goes and down the road
Hey,
you go.
sis.
Man,
I'm just saying.
Hi, Cheyenne.
Hey, did
I'm just saying.
do you make her breakfast in the morning?
Yes, I do sometimes.
Dang.
I'm saying the only snow I want is a snowball. I don't want no. It should have flavored juice in it while I eat it. It should not.
I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, what we call snowball is a whole different game than what you're talking about. I'm just saying, bro.
Your mind went the same place mine did.
Well, listen. Hey, listen. If you into 2 girls in 1 cup, do you? Who am I to judge you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro.
No.
No.
We actually had down south. We actually
I
have
just knew it was
snowball
all my
stands.
process from you mentioning it.
I'm just saying we actually have snowball stands down there. Like you have an ice cream parlor. We have snowball stands where you go and get snowballs from.
Dude,
Up here, they
those are
normally call it
snow
shaved
cones.
ice.
They're called snow cones, okay? Not snowballs.
Yeah, snow
Snow
cones.
Listen, I drink soda, you drink pop. I say orange, you say orange. I say
No,
Earl, you say all.
No,
Is that right?
listen, I say soda. You say potato, I say potato. I'm just saying, bro. It's soda to me. It ain't pop. It's soda.
How you say orange?
And Scott, I know you've been waiting all season for me
I
to
say
do this.
orange.
You've probably been
Orange.
waiting all season for me to do this since we're talking about it. We here at the Paranormal Jackass will bow to no corporate sponsors.
Absolutely. Nope. So, we're going to bring back some childhood memories, y'all. And I know,
At least
growing up,
teenage memories.
yes. We're talking about urban legends. Now, I know everybody grew up with urban legends. That's just a fact, man.
Everybody, everywhere. Certain urban legends you've heard about and probably don't even know you've heard about it.
That's right.
Like, check your Halloween candy. And Devil's Hollow or Devil's Backbone or
Backbone.
Bloody Mary. How many teenagers stood in the bathroom with the lights out and a candle lit, looking in the mirror, saying "Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary"? There she is. No.
You know, you got the babysitter, man. You remember that? You guys remember the babysitter?
What about Candyman?
You mean Hookman? Candyman. No, you're right.
Here goes the urban legend. What about the boogeyman that lives under your bed? When you was a kid and you was scared to put your feet on the floor because you like, man, it's too dark and I got an eerie feeling. You feel like your blanket protects you. You hiding under it, like, man, I hope this thing don't mess with me.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna give the special thing, a special tonight, man. We're gonna let Jason start us off with Candyman.
I don't know if Candyman was just a movie or if it was an urban legend. But I remember when we was kids, you used to be scared to stand in the mirror and say Candyman 3 times.
Right.
After you
Which
watched that movie, you was like,
Hey, when them bees
Candyman
came out of
is
his
based
mouth, I was done.
listen, I'm gonna tell
Candyman
you, I'm gonna
is
tell you a
based
real
on.
life story. When I seen the movie It, and I seen the clown come out the drain, when I would go take a bath, I started bringing a baseball bat in the bathroom with me, and I would keep my feet away from the drain. I'd be like, that bitch comes out that drain, I'm gonna smash him with this bat.
Now wait a minute, wait a minute. If you're gonna do that, what about Freddy Krueger? Because he comes up out of the bathtub in one of the movies with his
Yeah, but he's
claws.
in dream. He has to go in the dream world to do. He can do anything he wants in dream world.
Just saying.
It was always like drainage pipes, drains in your bathroom, in your sink. Like if he was coming out of that hole. So yeah, look, I was ready for him.
I remember
Right,
one
right.
time we had a problem with our water line when I was growing up, and I turned on the sink in the bathroom, and little brown water comes squirting out. I had just seen that movie. I took off screaming, thinking there was blood coming out in the water in the sink.
Yep.
Oh man, I was screaming bloody murder. It scared me to death.
I'll tell y'all, Louisiana, one that might be on the lines of it. So they got a grave site for Marie Laveau, but it's really a memorial. That's not where her body really rests at. They say
Now
she
it's
was buried. They say she was buried in St. Rose out in the swamp. So they got an old military graveyard that is surrounded by water out on a flat in that swamp. And when you get within about 200 yards of that flat on a boat, I swear to God, bro, the air gets stale. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. It just puts off an eerie feeling. And they say that a lot of people that go out there, they don't return. A lot of people disappear out there going to that grave place. So, and it's not no way you could walk. You're gonna have to P-roll. You're gonna have to take a slim boat. A flat boat won't even get back there because they got too many cypress knees in the way. It's got to be a very narrow boat that's just light and sits on top of the water that you can push across the water. But
that would
when I
be
was a
scary.
kid, oh yeah, when I was a kid, they'd be like, "Man, we're going out there." I'd be like, "No, I'm not. The fuck I am."
My son and I ran into an old cemetery out in the middle of woods that time had forgotten, and that was spooky enough. Just being in the woods, out hunting or out doing something else, and just come upon a graveyard.
Man, listen, they got an old graveyard in Monroe, Louisiana, out in the woods that you can see where it says U.S. military on it, but it looks like an old schoolhouse. And when you walk inside of it, it's got all these old, like 1902 baby beds and little incubators and stuff, right? And then when you go out behind the schoolhouse, there are hundreds of these little baby graves, and all of them have the same date the birth is. It's the death date too. But it's got U.S. military shit stamped around it. So we always thought, well, that was the military testing shit on children. You know what I'm saying? And when they were born, they die. They immediately bury them back there.
So
I've
we were
seen that
talking about
firsthand.
Candyman. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
There's a
Dina.
lot of that. I'll tell you now, my grandparents are buried in a cemetery on land that my family owned. And, I have a lot of family buried there. But when you get down to the bottom of that hill, in the main bottom of that cemetery, there's graves that are just marked with rock. There ain't no headstone like that. And it was scratched on it years ago, but you don't know who's buried where up on that mountain.
Yeah, most of it at that place with the baby graves, most of them graves are all broken, shattered. You can barely make out, but the few that you can make out, they're all like you can see where it's the same day of birth is the same day of death.
Road trip.
Not to mention, it's about an hour and 30-minute walk into the woods to even get back there. What used to be a road is all overgrown now. You don't even know it's a road unless you wander back there.
So since we was talking about candy, let's get into Halloween candy and searching Halloween candy for all kinds of ill-fated gottens.
I know this in the 90s, in the early 90s, our parents, when we trick or treated, used to check our candy before we could eat it because people were putting razor blades in them.
Yeah. And
That's the urban legend.
that is
But
an urban legend.
did you know that it all dates back to a real event that
Yes.
happened in 1974? In 1974 in Deer Park, Texas, on Halloween night, a man named Ronald O'Brien took his 2 children and a few of their friends that they knew from church. He was a church deacon and an optometrist. But he took his kids out trick-or-treating, took this group of children out trick-or-treating. They went up to this one house that was all darked out and knocked on the door. Nobody answered. The kids went on to the next house, but he stayed behind, and he came up to him later and
Oh, man, you got stuck. You got Down syndrome, bro. You got a lazy eye.
He got, he did it. You know what he's talking about that. He did it. He froze.
Oh, no, man. Hurry up. Get the I think his face broke.
And they always blame that on me.
He's going to pop back on.
But no, that did in fact happen. I don't know the rest of it because that's one that he wanted to pick up and talk about. So mine was absolutely Bloody Mary. But Tim gonna be back. Nothing to worry about.
Would you consider this to be an urban legend? Like the saying about don't pick up hitchhikers because they serial killers?
You know, there is an urban legend about picking up hitchhikers. And
We was always told don't do it because them people is serial killers and they looking to kidnap you and kill you.
right. But I think one of the biggest thing is you know, not just that, but when you think about back in the 70s, people used to hitchhike all the time. And that's how some of serial killers got their victims, especially the co-ed killer, Edmund Kemper. A lot of people with girls that he would pick up were hitchhikers, and he would take them and kill them.
What about that urban legend about Michelle Obama being a woman?
I cannot.
What?
You know what? That is an urban legend.
Yeah.
Hi, Tim.
How you doing?
hi.
How you doing?
So where was I? 20. I don't know how much you guys heard before I got booted.
You said that the kids went to the next house and the dad waited, and then
Walked up behind him, and that's when your face got stuck.
like
So
you
he
had
comes
down.
up to him. He comes up to him later on and gives each kid a 21-inch long pixie stick. Now, that's a big damn pixie stick. Later on that night, they go home. Each child, his 2 children were allowed to have 1 piece of candy before bedtime. He encourages his son, who's 8 years old and whose name just happens to be Timothy.
Sasquatch.
He's here.
Oh, he's back.
That is great, Natalie.
That was great.
By the way, hi, Michaela.
But he encourages his son to eat the pixie stick. His son starts to complain that the pixie stick's a little chunky and that it tastes funny. He gives his son a glass of Kool-Aid. The kid drinks the Kool-Aid, instantly falls to the floor, starts convulsing. He dies an hour later at the hospital.
Right.
The people at the hospital notice the boy's breath smells like almonds.
Almonds would be
Now that is a surefire way to tell that somebody has died of cyanide poisoning.
Yep.
None of the other 4 kids ate the candy. The dad sticks to his original story that he went up to the dark house and got the pixie sticks from somebody who answered the door. But it's later found out that Ronald O'Brien was $100,000 in debt and had just taken out huge life insurance policies on both of his children. He
Dang.
intentionally killed his own son with Halloween candy to collect the life insurance and pay off his debt.
That's big.
He gets sentenced. This is the best part of the whole story, though. He gets sentenced to death in Texas. You know, he got sentenced to the lethal injection.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I got an express lane in Texas.
At his execution, right? People outside, they're both, you know, anytime there's an execution in the United States, there's both pro.
Yeah, there's people out there saying don't kill him, and there's people saying kill him. Both ways.
So the pro death penalty people start chanting trick or treat, and they start pelting the anti death penalty people with what?
Candy.
Pixie sticks. I thought it was funny.
Dude, that is amazing.
But that is where all of this check your kids' Halloween candy came from. That one incident started all that. And he would have killed another kid had he not stapled the pixie stick back shut at the top, and one of the kids couldn't get it open. Her parents, she was only 6. Her parents found her laying in bed clutching the pixie stick, but she couldn't get it open to eat it.
Dang.
I'm sorry. They need to have a death penalty like they do in China. They'll cane you to death. They'll strap you down to a log, and 2 men with bamboo canes will literally beat on you until you no longer breathe.
That's Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, you do something like that to kids, yeah, it ain't gonna be no 10 years down the road because you've been appealing. And no, you got sentenced today. We're gonna take y'all back tomorrow and beat you to death.
Absolutely.
Well, that's Texas for you. Texas has express lane. If more than 3 people witness you murder somebody,
yep,
you go straight to the front of the line.
That's the way it should be. I'm just.
Oh, Scotty, you got the Down syndrome.
Did I freeze up?
Oh yeah. There you go. There you go. Your face was stuck for a minute. You had a thing with your lips like this.
Oh,
good
man.
Lord. Somebody sucking my internet up.
Scott, what have you got, Scotty? What do you got?
You know, growing up, my oldest sisters, they were all about that Bloody Mary. All right. And listen, when you're the younger brother and your older siblings want you to do something with them, you know, you're going to go and do it just because you're supposed to trust them. So it's probably early 80s. My sister Tina talked me into going in the bathroom. It was dark. She didn't tell me what Bloody Mary was all about, but the urban legend is you say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times, and she pops up next to you. Bam! Right? You know, here I am. I'm probably, 7 years old. Here it is, dark. They talked me into going in the bathroom to do this Bloody Mary. You know, me being brave like I am.
Then you met Drop Dead Fred.
I said, Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Out pops my sister in her damn robe. Shit all over her face. Scared the shit out of me. I cried the whole time. I lie.
That's great.
Listen,
But but
I
you know,
told my niece that there's a man that lives in the toilet and he waits for you to poo poo. And when you sit down, as soon as you poo poo, he's gonna snatch you into the toilet. He's the potty monster. Listen, I come home from school and my grandma wanted to kill me. She's like, he won't use the bathroom. You got her scared to death to go poop. She's in there with her stomach hurt. I was like, what? I was just joking. You know what I'm saying? But
you know,
Oh,
and
that's
I
great.
think what is crazy about it is, and I don't know most kids these days, but like young girls when they have sleepovers, you know they're gonna do something like Bloody Mary.
or light
What
as a
was the
feather,
one?
stiff as a board. Light as
Yeah,
a
light
feather,
as a
stiff as a
feather,
board.
stiff as a board. Yeah.
You know, so I've always
You guys
loved
ever do
that.
that, Maddie?
What's
When
up,
you had
brother?
sleepovers, did you ever do light as a feather, stiff as a board, or Bloody Mary in the mirror? Okay.
See, like I said, Bloody Mary. All young girls do Bloody Mary. It's like a rite of passage for a girl's sleepover. We gotta do Bloody Mary. We gotta do Bloody Mary. Listen,
What
girls,
we do?
if you're
That when
having a sleepover,
they
when
break
you're
out the
gonna
Ouija board.
No.
listen, now that's never happened here. But I'm telling you what, had they
Not
done
in
it,
my house.
I would have been at that breaker going beep, 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 beep. I'm just saying. Them lights gonna be flashing on and off real fast.
I would have been controlling it and making the letters go from "you are stupid." You are stupid. Like, man, you see the spirits talking to y'all.
So listen to all you girls, but there ain't no young girls in here. But listen, if for some reason you see this, you having a sleepover and you gonna do Bloody Mary, you got a little brother or older brother, you got to get them involved. You got to have fun. You got to be able to scare your friends. I'm just saying, that's the best thing in the world.
Then none of your friends want to come back to your house and sleep over ever again. Your parents are happy. They got no more sleepovers at their house.
So I gotta ask you guys this: have y'all ever been snipe hunting?
Yes.
You talking about as a bird, a snipe?
No.
Yeah,
You
he
mean like
is.
Oh yeah, the bird. Yeah, the snipe hunting. You chase it around. Would you consider that an urban legend? Listen, we've all done it.
I think it's more of just a practical joke.
But it's
My
gone on and on and on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never caught the motherfucker. I still ain't caught him. I still go outside and look for him.
Well, let me ask you this. That's like going on a construction job and you come out there with a brand new tool belt, and your truck ain't got a scratch on it. And the boss man be like, go down there in the trailer and get me a sky hook or a wood stretcher. Don't come back till you find it. He pulls back up, man, I can't find it, man. Pull everything out the trailer. He spends the
Me and some
whole
guys
day
me
loading
and
and
some guys I
unloading a
used to work
trailer.
with.
Yeah, for something
Go
that
ahead.
don't even exist.
Me and some guys I used to work with sent a guy one time out for like 4 hours of the night because I work night shift. Going all over, we had all the bosses in on looking for an ID 10T form.
Oh, oh God.
If you don't know what an ID 10T form is, write it out. You'll know real quick.
Man,
Yeah, I'll even write it out for you.
Idiot.
Yeah.
when I was in the military,
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, I can see it.
can now. Good job.
ID 10T.
Yeah, that's right.
IDT. Man, when I was in the military, in the mortar platoon, I was a corporal, I was a squad leader. And I would send my new privates every time I got a new private or whatever. I would send them in the supply to ask for grid squares on a map
Yeah.
from the supply sergeant. You know, hey, Private Joe Snuffy Smith, go over there and supply. And tell Sergeant Appleby that we need grid squares for the maps. So when you look at a map, the square That is a grid square. So he was going into supply, asking the supply store for grid squares. Man, it would piss him off.
But this will be our thing. We're not doing it to be dicks. If you just came out there and said, "Hey, look, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to work. I'll do whatever you show me," it would be no big deal. But these dudes come out there and you 19 years old talking about you've been doing this for 8 years. You ain't none of your tools look like they ever. You just went and bought that stuff. You got a brand new tool belt on with no dirt on it. Your vehicle don't have a scratch on it. And I don't know many people do construction that don't use a vehicle to tote they stuff with them. Nobody's work truck or work car is ever brand new. And the boss man be like, "Yeah, man, see what's up with him." So we'll send him like, "Hey, man, go down." I've had people try with me, and I'm like, "Say, bro, stop playing with me. Ain't no wood stretcher or sky hook. I'm not no newbie. If I don't know
Right.
how to do something, I'll let you know I don't know how to do it before I mess it up or try to mess with it without knowing what I'm doing. Common
Right.
sense." But them dudes will fake it to make it. They'll come out there and we always send them the truck. They'll spend a whole day picking up all that heavy stuff out the trailer and then reloading it back in the trailer and then make them unload it. And finally the boss will be like, "Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You fired. Get off the job site."
Hell yeah, dude.
We got threatened with write-ups at Edie's Ice Cream because we were sending new people we were sending to the quality lab. We had these big, huge bags, right? I mean, they were huge. I could easily fit inside this bag. And we would make them go around and collect air in the bag and tell them they need to take it to quality for an air sample test.
That's awesome.
Dude, that is great.
We got threatened.
Listen, I had a friend of mine that works on a fleet boat. He's basically for the offshore rigs that are 5 and 6 miles off the coast. They load up their ship full of all the goods that need to go out to the rig. You know what I'm saying? But they're in 11-foot swells, 10-foot swells out there in the ocean. And it's a big ship, but it still rocks constantly. He said, "Man, just to be a jerk, he'll go put baby oil on all the chrome toilet seats that are on the boat." He said them dudes will sit down and try to poop and come clean off the toilet seat. Squeak. He's like,
They used to do that to new guys in the Navy. They put baby oil between their mattress and the metal bunk.
it slides
And
off.
the first time the boat rocks, the whole bunk comes sliding off.
Dude, that
You want it or not.
oh. Hey,
Yo,
dude, you guys ever remember the urban legend of the alligator in the sewage?
yeah,
Yeah.
Sewer? How did
the
they
one that somebody flushed it down the toilet.
flush it down the toilet? Dude, I remember.
First off, I ain't never seen an alligator flushing down a toilet.
I haven't either. But do you
He'd have to
remember
be real small. He'd have to be newborn.
there was actually
Yeah.
a movie about that? If you remember.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
called
Lake Placid.
Alligator or something. Yeah.
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid. Yeah, dude, that is absolutely
That's
It
what
is
crazy.
much
happens to
better.
alligators when they feed off of the septic tank. They become mutants.
That is
Teenage Mutant Ninja Gators, huh?
right.
I've got one for you guys. And I'm interested to see if anybody in the comments has ever heard of it. Who here has ever heard of the 27 Club?
I've never. I mean, I've heard of Mile High Club, but not 27.
The 27 Club deals. The 27 Club deals with famous musicians and a supposed curse that if you got too famous at too young of an age, you would die at the age of 27.
Yes.
I.e., Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, they were all 27 when they died.
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah. I don't know how old she was, but
27.
I know those three at least. Was she?
27. Yep.
You forgot Elvis and Prince and Michael Jackson.
Not at age
Well, they
27.
were much older.
This this
But
guy here, I can't.
it's supposedly about a curse.
Right.
It's supposed to be some kind of musician's curse, but there's
Hi,
no
Amanda.
actual proof
I
of
don't
that.
see you. Oh, there she is, Brandon Lee.
Do you believe that the Illuminati still exist and that they really pulling strings in the background in the movie and music industry?
I couldn't tell you that.
Yes and no, but probably because when
I
you talk
believe
about
that the
something like that,
Illuminati still.
you know, they
I
say,
believe the Illuminati still exists. Same way I believe the Knights Templar still exist.
you know, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they say they are huge in Illuminati. So that's
Well, this is the thing. The first thing about the Illuminati, is to never reveal yourself as the Illuminati. It's like the first rule of Fight Club. There is no Fight Club.
Right.
You don't never tell people that you're the Illuminati. That goes against everything that they stand for, everything that they've built over the years. You never reveal the right hand to the left hand.
I believe a lot of those old secret societies lived on by infiltrating other secret societies. One in particular.
I think this. There are groups of people
hey,
that
brother.
have held influence, their family name, which now obviously there's new names that we're just blind to, but like the Rothschilds and all those other major families that were going back then. I definitely believe they probably had some affiliation with that stuff. Maybe they were the descendants of it, the people that moved down the line and stayed in power and hid their identity well. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the way the Illuminati moved after the French Revolution,
Hi, Chantel.
Hi.
they set themselves up in places of power, right? And they fed off of that. And I mean, if you go back into the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, if you didn't deal with the Jews, you couldn't get on television. The Jews ran everything. They basically owned the movie production. You could make a movie, but they were the ones to determine whether or not your movie became big or not.
Right.
So
Next urban legend.
I'm interested in hearing from our overseas friends what they've heard. Urban legends that may be out there that we've never heard.
What about, is there any known entity in Japan where they got that forest where all the people go to commit suicide? Is there like any one main ghost or entity that's known to that forest?
And that would be interesting because the only one that I know of would be a Juon. I don't know. Irene's not in here. But
I mean, could there be banshees in that? Would that be something that is known for having?
yep, Suicide Forest. Yes, ma'am.
Or jackals?
That's a good possibility, dude.
Do they have hellhounds there?
It's a really peaceful. To me personally, I think it's just a really peaceful place where people go to do that.
Yeah, to unalive themselves.
Yeah. Because I know if it's my last moment, I want it to be peaceful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, but yeah, banshees are Irish.
Yep.
I was trying to think of like what would be the name for that type of spirit in Japan, though.
I don't know. What about all of you girls that have babysitted? That used to babysit. You guys remember the folklore of the babysitter?
No.
Is Chrissy sitting next to you?
Yeah.
Chrissy, you ever heard about the babysitter?
No.
She said no.
Where the girl's babysitting and the phone rings and
Talking about
The
Scream?
opening of Scream.
huh?
The opening of Scream.
The opening of Scream.
Yeah, I've never actually heard of nobody that being a real case. I always thought that was just a movie, but maybe somebody has done that.
Hey, sis.
That's all based on a real life event that happened in Florida.
Yes, and the call is actually coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
That's
There's always
crazy.
call. See now, in Africa, a banshee is called a whaler. That is
Oh
interesting
wow,
to me.
that's pretty cool. I know every place they're gonna call them something different.
Yeah, I know it was a movie at one time.
What movie? What
Maybe it's
movie?
called
What's the movie
Babysitter.
about?
About a babysitter who gets a call, she answers it, and the killer's inside the house. And that's basically what the folklore was.
Yeah.
Was when you're babysitting, don't answer the call because it's probably a killer. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. In case you all haven't noticed, my kids got me the Mothman Build-A-Bear for my birthday.
Give it a squeeze.
Okay, I'll give it a squeeze.
That's cool, bro.
It is, dude. It's the one thing I wanted, and they got me it. So
Yes, we all need to wish Scotty a happy birthday.
it was yesterday.
Jeremy said the Gainesville murders.
Yes, that's what Scream was written about. Gainesville, Florida.
Yep. I want to know local urban legends. Tim, I know we got some pretty good ones around here.
So just in Huntington County, Indiana alone, I can think of 3. We had an old road called Devil's Backbone, which supposedly some kids were out there doing devil worship. And if you went out there, you'd find altars and all this, that, and the other. And there's a place where parents took their kids to scare the hell out of them. Turns out all that land is private property and you're not supposed to be back there, which is why they end up blocking the road off eventually.
Right. See, when I was growing up, my parents drove back there, and they told a story about an old guy that lived back there. And if he got kids back there messing around, he would snatch them up, take them back to his place, take them down into the basement, and hang them upside down with nails through their toes. So that was my experience on the Devil Backbone. Because what did my parents do? If they shut the lights off on our Ford LTD, started banging on the doors, and told us kids to get out. Listen, you know what? Right here. It is this lady's fault. It's this lady's fault why the Devil Backbone scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I'm talking about you and Dad taking us kids out the Devil Backbone, scaring us. That's what we're talking about.
That's great. Another one is 13 Graves. We've both been there.
We have been 13 Graves.
So supposedly there's 13 mound graves out there. Small little mounds of dirt that if you went through one way and counted, you'd count 13. But if you came through the other way and counted, you'd only count 12. So the 13th grave disappeared. And the truth behind it is they're not even graves.
No, they're stones now.
Well, yeah, there's headstones out there. But what the original story was about some little mounds of dirt and stone that they said were graves. And the truth was they were never graves. When they would, in the old days, when they would take a body before they had cars, they took them by horse and buggy.
Correct. It's Batson Cemetery, but we call it 13 Graves.
Right. And when you go to pull a body out of a cemetery, out of the back of the wagon, the worst thing you do is have the horses start moving or the wagon roll with your pulling. So to counteract that, they put these humps in the ground so the wagon wheels had a place to stop. So you could pull the body out of the wagon without it moving.
Yeah.
It is
But
it's a very awesome cemetery.
when we were growing up, that was like the scariest place on earth. You never want to go out to 13 graves. It was
because
terrifying out there.
if you didn't count 13 on the way back, you were supposedly to die.
I'm not gonna lie, like cemeteries have never scared me, but I grew up playing hide and go seek and red light, green light in the cemetery. You know what I'm saying? So it was like we got massive cemeteries in New Orleans that are huge, incredibly big.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, dude.
We'd
And
sneak in
everybody
there at
there-
nighttime as kids and play hide and go seek and green light flag. What's the other one where when you get tagged, somebody's got to go under your legs so that you unfrozen?
It's called
Freeze
freeze tag,
tag.
bro.
Freeze tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
freeze tag is just being touched. We played one where somebody had to literally crawl under your legs real quick, and that was the only way you could get unfrozen.
We're talking about urban legends, Mom, not the ghost creepy stuff you guys put us through. I'm just saying.
My favorite one though that's local is the old legend of the Forks of the Wabash. The Indians believed that anywhere two rivers came together that had mystical power. And right out here, when you guys come in on 24 and you turn down, you turn right down 9 to come to my house, Jason. You go over that bridge. That bridge right there by that bridge is where the Forks of the Wabash meet. The Little Wabash River and the Wabash River.
Little and big. Stupid.
The native legend goes is that no major storm would go over the forks. It would either go to the north or the south of the fork.
Oh,
He says, well, they're legends. Yeah.
yeah. It's odd because, you're talking about Forks of the Wabash, and my mom and grandparents actually lived in the original Chief Richardsville house.
Really?
Yes. And she has
I love
stories.
that place.
She has stories.
We love that place.
I'm saying she has stories.
Well, let's get with the Historical Society, Mr. City Employee, and get in there.
Ah, that's not the original.
True. But there's a lot of artifacts in there from the original.
There is. There is. And I just want to remind you all, make sure you tap that screen that you like us. Because we
Boogeyman.
and you share
Unless
it.
you don't like us, and then you don't have to do it.
That's right.
We appreciate it if you do.
So would the Boogeyman be considered urban legend?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I'm sure in some aspects it is.
Absolutely.
To qualify
It
for
not
an
be.
urban legend, it needs to be a story that teaches some kids lesson. Let's take the Hook Man, for instance.
Yeah, but I think urban legends also usually stem from a real event. That's how it
Right.
becomes an urban legend, right? So something real had to have happened.
Well, nobody
people-
knows. Nobody knows the where the origins of the Hook Man story came from. It just started around 1950.
Right.
And in by 1959, about every teenager in America had heard of the Hook Man or the Hook.
The Hook. Yeah.
Some places it's just called the Hook, where the hook's hanging on the car door, and the girl's boyfriend gets out to go see what the noise is and dies, and she's left locked in the car, and the hook's hanging on the door handle, right?
Right.
A spinoff of that is kind of I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they ran that dude over with the car and they thought he was dead, but then he comes back with that hook.
Yep. And if you think about it, in a sense, that's also where Candyman came from. Because
So many people believed the Hook Man story that in 1960 a teenage girl wrote into Dear Abby. I know some people on here don't know what I'm talking about, but us older people remember the Dear Abby column in everybody's newspaper, and said, if you appreciate teenagers at all, you'll listen to this story. I don't know if it's true or not, but the Hookman story within 10 years had spread to every teenager in America.
Right.
And ironically enough, teenage pregnancy made a big drop at that same time because it's always on Lover's Lane where that happens, where the teenagers go to the park and do some sketchy shit. That's always where it happens.
I just want to point this out, y'all. I understand people gonna be like, "Oh, they superhuman," but listen, if we ever just like it's some camp like Crystal Lake camp, and this Jason Michael Myers dude runs out on us, we not separating. Everybody grab a weapon and we sticking together. Because when he comes over there, we're gonna chop his legs off and then we're gonna work at his arms. And we're not. That's great that he can keep getting back up, but he's gonna have to squiggle his way over there with no arms and legs. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're Scotty, who says, I don't have to run fast, I just have to run faster than you.
You damn right.
We're not running. We're not running. There's 13, 14 of us. That's how it always happens in a movie. There's 12 of us. And as soon as the killer comes, we all going different ways. No, we not. Everybody grab a weapon.
Listen.
Old boy's been drowned, shot, stabbed.
Let me tell you something. You guys are forgetting.
Ain't dead yet.
The short, sexy guy always dies first, okay? That's not happening here. I'm running.
Well, we're gonna make you a pole man, okay? We're gonna give you a long stick, and your job is just to stick him and push him back so we can chop him up. That way you ain't even gotta be the first one to die,
We're just gonna offer Scotty up as ritual sacrifice.
For some reason, did I freeze up?
Hey, if we coat him in chocolate, we can be like, here's a Hershey Kiss. There you go.
I didn't see any of that, but okay.
Okay.
Hey, we can't split up.
No,
you're right. We can't split up.
And nobody's having sex.
No, and we're not running into the attic or upstairs, and we don't go in the tool shed.
Well, if that's the case,
or the basement.
Yeah, you never do that. You run outside.
If you can't have sex, then Jason and Chrissy can't come along. Did you know they're gonna die just like Kevin Bacon?
I'm not gonna die. I got good sense.
So you're saying you're gonna chip your woman, huh?
No, but I'm saying I always got a knife on me, and if I ain't had a knife, Chrissy gonna have a gun on her. He can come in there. I'm not worried about that. See, look, I'm not locked in there with him. He's locked in there with me.
You'll get a shell and a bullet.
Hey, I'm just saying. Look at that. See what my mom says? They got snipes. I told you. I wasn't lying. My mom made me chase snipes.
I'm just saying. You ain't never seen nobody bite Michael Myers' nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll stick my finger in his eyeball. He ain't ready for that.
Chrissy has other things in that bedroom. He don't need to get stabbed. We just knock him over the head and shove one right where the sun don't shine.
It'll be like a P. Diddy party. He'll never be right again. He'll never be the same.
Like a P. Diddy party.
You gonna come out and sing, I'm half the man I used to be.
Jason's gonna be in the middle of our little circle, sucking his thumb in the fetal position. No, make the bad man stop.
Christmas Day every.
Listen, Chrissy is. Did you forget? We were running one time and she hit me in the head and knocked me out. I just can't with you. Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. Listen.
Y'all quit playing.
You get stuck with me because I like to jump out of nowhere and scare you. That's why. You're our entertainment. I'm just saying.
He does love to jump out and scare people. My favorite one was at Crown Point when he went He got like just in between the bars and Crystal and got behind her and turned around and came out of that cell. And I've only ever seen Crystal move that fast one other time.
Dude, that was perfect, dude.
And that was the first time we went to the ocean. I finally got her out past where the waves were breaking a little bit. She was standing about chest deep water. She said, "What's that?" and pointed. I turned and looked. I turned back around. She was on the beach. She seen a fin come up out of the water. It was a dolphin fin, not a shark. It was a dolphin, but she was gone.
Listen, I got a bad habit of when we go ghost hunting. When I am awake during the ghost hunt, okay, because I do fall asleep, I'll take my lick on that after a lot of them. But I got a bad habit of walking in the darkest area I can find and just standing there.
True that.
I want to see something, and then random people come walking up, and I scare the shit out of them, and I don't mean to. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm ghost hunting. I'm looking for something."
The other best one I ever seen was Scott's son at Waverly when Scott Smith scared him.
Scott Smith scared him. This kid, we all have that instinct, man, fight or flight. And Aiden, man, he was trying to do the Karate Kid drop kick on Scott Smith.
Oh, there was video of that.
Yeah,
There is. You know,
I know.
there's video of that.
I'd rather get hit from the front than hit from the back trying to run away. Fuck that. I don't blame him. Go Aiden.
Yeah, see, even Amanda remembers that. I'll have to put that video up and show it to everybody next time. Dude, that was great. You know, you can't be like me. I take off, man. I ain't lying.
But back to our topic here a little bit, but we only got a few minutes left here. The other one that I know is urban legend wise, the vanishing hitchhiker. You guys ever heard of that?
I've not heard of that.
I've not heard of it.
Man pulls over and picks up a hitchhiker, and they're driving along, conversating and everything, and all of a sudden he looks over and the hitchhiker's not there. He's gone. That's the paranormal urban legend.
Wasn't that a female, though? Wasn't it a female?
There's times it's female, times it's male. It's been told a million times. It's been around since the vehicle was invented.
Right.
That's crazy.
That story has literally been around since the 1920s.
Resurrection Mary. And see, that's what I thought. And yeah, which is, you know, like I said, there's so many different urban legends, and it's amazing.
Who here still checks the back seat
Give me a minute.
when they get in their car?
So what?
Who here still checks their back seat when they get in their car?
Yeah, if it's my time, it's my time. I don't even care.
The killer in the back seat, or the person underneath the car that's going to slit your Achilles tendon when you walk up.
Man, listen, I'm still weird about letting people sit in the back seat. If I don't trust you, if I don't really know you, I don't want you sitting behind me in a car.
Right.
What if they drunk?
I don't care what they are. If I don't know you or trust you, I don't really want you behind me in a vehicle. Listen, I've lost too many friends getting shot in the back of the head, a stab from behind in the back seat. No, I'm good.
Right.
Because you'll pick somebody up and you don't know what frame of mind they in. They might be looking at you like I'm about to rob this dude.
Listen, man, I ain't picking nobody up. Ain't you ever seen the movie The Hitchhiker? No.
Well, I've gotten in, like, say, like me and you riding around and you my friend and you go to pick up some people I don't really know. I might jump in the back seat. I really don't want to be in that front passenger seat because I don't know them people. And if I get a bad feeling on one of them,
Well,
I don't have the stuff y'all have where y'all can, like, sense ghosts and all that. But I read people real well and I get very good vibes off of people. I can tell when somebody's up, they got a rotten, messed up thing going on with them. I feel it on them and I'm like, no, because whatever they going through at this moment, I don't want to be part of that.
Right.
Yo, man, that's just wrong on so many levels. And let me tell you something. You didn't jump behind me when I was driving that boat. I'm just saying, you passed out in the front in the sun.
I trust you.
Okay.
Well, nobody on that boat I didn't trust.
No, I know, man. I'm just fucking with you. Hey, we only got a couple minutes, so you know what I got to do. You know what I got to do.
Jackass of the week.
Jackass of the week. This week, it goes to this lady, Kelly Tedford, 23-year-old from New Hampshire. She decides she's going to take video over 4 years of herself going to local grocery stores, peeing on produce. Little did she know, well, I guess I shouldn't say little did she know, but she decided to post them on the internet. And guess what? The cops found out.
You go to jail.
So, the cops found out. So right now she's released on her own reconnaissance, but she did squirt all over $1,500 worth of food. So, to the jackass, Miss Kelly Tedford, don't ever record your dumb ass going pee-pee on produce because you're going to get caught. Congratulations, Kelly, for being jackass of the week.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Jesus take the wheel.
Jesus take
Yeah,
the wheel.
Don't take my stand.
Hey, but you ain't what?
If I catch them, I have never ever raised my hand to a woman in my life. Ever. But if I catch a woman peeing on my taters, that might be cause for it. I'm just saying.
Not me. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna go for Chrissy.
Don't you pee on my taters. No.
Because usually if I'm in Walmart, Chrissy gonna be there, and me and Jason have no problem feeling for her. Ain't that right, J-Man?
That's right. That's
Y'all
right.
embarrassed in Walmart.
I don't know what you.
If y'all know more.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were just trying
Whatever.
we were just trying to find you.
That's it. We were getting ready to get on the loudspeaker and have them announce for you.
I know how to get on
Baggett,
my speakers.
Your kids are at the front desk.
Morales now, sir.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
With that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us this week. I hope you had good laughs and we just talked about stuff. Next week's going to be a good show. We ain't decided what it is, and but we haven't. Who knows? We may not. Who knows? But we appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate my co-hosts.
We appreciate you for having me.
Sasquatch, the paranormal penis. Final thoughts.
Maybe one day my internet will work good enough I can actually stay on for the entire show.
Hey, we appreciate that. Any final thoughts? But
Anybody that's seen that, they're a ball gazer. Sorry, y'all.
I cannot.
Yep. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Just remember, we love you guys, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and for many of you for wishing me happy birthday yesterday. I absolutely appreciate it. So
absolutely, brother.
So for me and my co-hosts, love you guys, and just remember, if you're not laughing, you're not living, and we shall see you next week. Peace out.
Have a good night, everybody.
If I can get my shit.